Hi there, it's Mr. Bruce here with Mr. Barnes. We are here to support you make senior phase course choices. So if you are a pupil who is currently in S3, we're going to support you making choices into S4. If you're an S4 pupil going into S5 next year, we're here for you to support you. And finally, S5 pupils going into S6. This will cover the process for all senior phase subjects. And if there are further questions, of course, we're on the phone should you need to contact the school and speak to either us or Pupil Support. But I hope this slide helps. Let me just knock the slide on. Everything we do in Allo Academy is based on our values that are agreed by pupils, parents and staff and everyone in our community, and that is respect, ambition and resilience. So yes, we'll cover lots of subjects in a school, but these are our core values that we instill in everything that we do. If we just look at what the senior phase means to start with, I'll let Mr. Barnes talk through this slide for you.
This slide and the next one probably. Really, what we're talking about is being, again, a 2-year plan for all of our options processes. We have also done a similar presentation for S2 going into S3 and their choices and what it means for them. And in that, I also talked about a 2-year plan. It's really, really vital that you think on things as a 2-year plan, because we're looking at not just what you're doing now, but what you want to do in the future. So having that aspiration as, for example, if you want to do hires or if you want to do national 5s by the end of 5th year, then you have to get into the right subjects, the right track, the right pathway to be able to get to that end destination, whether it be the end of 4th year and leaving or the end of 5th year or 6th year indeed when you leave the school. So it's really important you look upon this as a 2-year journey. So we have, as you go up the school, as you move into another year, or you grow up as an individual, we have increased expectations of you. We have extra demands of you, whether that be the amount of personal study that you do in each of your subjects. So we have increased expectations of you as you grow into being young people rather than little 1st or 2nd years in the BGE. So that's one thing. Second thing is a different timetable. It will look different if you're going from 3rd year into 4th year in particular. The older in 5th into 6th, it will look very similar. But there will be double periods more to the fore for you. And also, if you're going into 4th year, you very likely will be in classes with not just 4th year students, but also with some maybe 5th years and indeed some 6th years. What is this all leading to? What does it mean? It means that we've got national qualifications, we've got level 3, national 3, where all the units are internally assessed. And also, if you click on for me, we've got that level 4, should just come on here, which is similar, but also with added value. And the next slide moves on to the level 5, national 5, slightly different. In normal times, we would have coursework plus an external exam. Obviously, the last year and this year, that doesn't pertain to the structure that we have. And then again, advanced higher courses, coursework, internal assessments, etc. However, the external exam wouldn't be there this year. We work to support you. So what it means for you in the senior phase is that we will continue to track and monitor your progress, and that is retained and communicated via progress, and we will continue to do that no matter what the circumstances are that we find ourselves in. And finally, that is a big deal for people moving into 4th year, you will get the chance to have a new tie. So if we can get back to a bit more normality and we have school uniform, you will have a senior tie in 4th year.
Okay, we talked about heightened expectations as you go through school, and when you get to S5 and S6, there is a senior school agreement. And that is really to reinforce the responsibility on the pupils and make sure they're really aware that they are choosing to come back into school, and that there is a greater expectations. And this slide outlines some of these. So it's looking at attendance, making sure that when pupils can return to school and get into the building, that they're doing so regularly. To meet all the demands of the courses, they need to be regularly attending school. At the moment, what that would mean is we need pupils engaging online, and we're here to support. at every turn to support good attendance. Good timekeeping for seniors is key. Getting here on time not only builds good habits for themselves, leaving school in the future, that's what would be expected in the workplace. So we need to instill these good habits now to make sure that pupils are really ready to go into the workplace. So it's also important that the pupils from S1 to 4 look up to our S5, 6 pupils, and really the S5 and 6 are really good role models to the others pupils in the school. So these are absolutely key. Being prepared and organised for class. As you get older, we're expecting pupils to be more prepared and not need the amount of reminders that maybe someone in first year would have. So that's important. We are here to help with that. Having the right frame of mind for working, a positive can-do attitude goes a long way, and we expect that of all our pupils to show that ambition and resilience that are our values. So again, that's essential in agreement. And actively participating whilst behaving well. These are standard for all pupils. And of course, if a pupil wasn't meeting that criteria, we would let the pupil know and the parent know if there was an issue and try and support at each and every turn. Finally, making excellent progress. You know, a pupil is choosing to come back to go through a course, probably a national qualification, and it's important that you're aware of there are demands of these. If a pupil wasn't progressing through their course, it might be that we have to review what pathway that a pupil is on in partnership with yourself as a pupil and of course the parents to make sure that it's time well spent in school and not just floating through 5th and 6th year, maybe not gaining the qualifications or experience that's really needed to be a success. Also, finally, it says, enjoying being part of Allo Academy. I love working in the school, the staff do. There's nothing more pleasing than we see pupils thrive and enjoying it. And if it's not happening, not enjoying it, let's do something about it. Speak to us as deputes, as teachers, speak to the guidance team. We'll do everything you can to make sure your time in Allo is time well spent.
So the timetable in S4, having just gone through S3, you would have picked 6 subjects. So what we're doing now is we're still staying with English, Maths and PE, RE and PSE as, if you like, core curriculum. So everybody studies those areas, those curricular areas. What we then do is from the 6 subjects that you then picked, 4 curricular areas and 2 free choice in 3rd year, we now are going to take that down to 4. So we're going to focus in the study that you're going to do, and we're going to look at having these subjects plus the 4 free choice subjects. Now, ideally, we look at that and you'll get guidance from Pupil Support because we want it to be the subjects that are right for you. Now, whether that be that we have a broad selection of subjects and we have something from each curricular area because you're not entirely certain about what your career path or your study path is going to be in the near future, or indeed if you actually do know and you're cast iron certain that that's the career path you want, the guidance team, SDS support will help you to say, right, these are the 4 best subjects for you. So that adds up, if you can trust me to do the arithmetic, it adds up to 32 periods. As I say there, all students choose 4 subjects on their choice, their form, that's the free choice. And then just a little bit of a warning is that we ask for you to choose 2 alternatives. And that's basically just because it won't always all fit. And if you can give me a bit of a bit more license to work with alternatives, then we'll be able to fit and get a curriculum for you. So 4 free choices and 2 alternatives.
Okay, so all this is moving on to S5 and 6. All S5 and 6 students must study five subjects there. All S5 students, I'll repeat that, must study 5 subjects. The subjects should be listed in order of priority, and we'll talk through the actual process of making the choices in a minute. At this stage in 5th year, you have free choice. So the range of subjects you've experienced throughout your school now, you're making some key choices that are going to help you into your future, either to college, to university, or maybe to employment. So really, really important decisions to be made. Timetabling columns must then be constructed. So with all of the variety and subjects that pupils pick, Mr. Barnes has the challenge of making sure that we've got enough staff to cover all of that choice. And occasionally at times we have a hotspot where lots of pupils have maybe picked a subject and we only maybe have one teacher of that subject. If that becomes an issue, we work together with you as a pupil and with the parents and the guidance team to make sure that we've got plans to best support both the running of the choices, but also there has to be a compromise at times. It doesn't often happen, but at times it does happen. Problems can occur, so that is where this bottom line of 2 alternative subjects should be picked. These are almost backup plans that you might pick a subject and it will be full, but then Mr. Barnes can work with you and looking into your alternative plans. So that is the process for S5.
Yeah, for S6, just to also clarify that for S6, again, it's a free choice. It doesn't say that on there, but it is a free choice again. And for all of the option forms, what I'm going to say still applies to all. It is a free choice, but it is absolutely crucial that you do list them in priority. So something that is an absolute must for you, you need to put it at option 1. Don't think, well, there'll be plenty classes in that subject, so I'll make it option 4. Don't do that. It could mess up your choices, just the way that when we do the modelling and the curriculum structures, column structures. So you must do it by priority. So all S6 are going to do at least 4 subjects, and apart from really extreme circumstances, everyone will do at least 4 full courses. And if you are wanting to study in S6 and advanced higher, then what we do is we will allow you to drop 1 column, and that then column will be looked at as what sometimes we call service to the school community service, but you will be supporting the school in one way or another. So if you're doing advanced higher, you can drop a column. If I maybe just want to talk about this one, there's a lot on this slide, and it is absolutely just there for you as a guide. This is the actual option form from last year, and there are certain areas up in the top left. There's a table with all the subjects, and you don't need to worry about reading that. So up here you've got all the stuff up here. Don't worry, because the next slide will show you in more detail, and if you can look at the PowerPoint, you can pause and have a read at it. The stuff below is the actual options part of it, so you'll fill that out with your pupil support teacher. The other side of it, the right-hand side of the page, is basically information for us to get to know what your desires are, what your intentions are, and we've worked in conjunction with Skills Development Scotland with that information, and it's just so we can keep a track on where the young people intend to go, and then maybe see where they actually end up. The bottom part is the senior school agreement, which Mr. Bruce has mentioned earlier on in the video.
Okay, this slide here is basically dating back to 2016-17, and it shows you the range of options in this column here of subjects on offer in 2016-17, and this total number was 35 different subjects or different courses that you could pick in that year. And you can see year on year up to currently there's 67 choices for pupils on offer in Allo Academy. So that is a massive increase in pathways that the pupils in Allo Academy can now choose and go down into employment or future college or university. So we feel that we've worked really, really hard, and we're really, really proud of this, because we know that pupils are getting a good deal and a good variety of options in the senior school, which will lead into employment. And this, what we've seen over in conjunction with this increase, we have seen each year improvements in positive destinations. And what that is pupils going into college or university or employment rather than the opposite. So really proud of it, and there's so many excellent courses there on offer that some are in partnership with local colleges and local employers, so real great opportunities on hand. So I think the next slide is over to Mr. Barnes.
Yeah, just to conclude, for me, we have intentions to bring the timetable start forward a couple of weeks from that which is noted on the school calendar. The reasons for that are aligned with last year's reasons. We want to move the school on. We want to move the school on as quickly as we can to give the young people the best possible opportunity. So once we get to about May time, the young people, we find they're ready. They're ready to move on and start the next journey, the next subject level on the pathway. So we will be starting the new timetable, whether in whatever shape or form that may take. We'll be starting, moving the years on, moving the classes on the 10th of May.
Okay, so that's the end of the presentation about course choice, but we'll attach the slides so you can read them at your own leisure. But please feel free to contact the school. Pupil Support Team are available. If you are contacting them, please phone between 9 and 12 on a school day, and they can discuss this with you at any stage, but we are also in school at this time. Feel free to contact us, and as I say, take care, and I hope this helped.